Hello everyone, this is Vice South and welcome to a post-commentary of the July YTC. Today we have a match between two pretty long-standing veterans in the Trinity community. Here we have Sonic 21 Blast, most likely on the Fluffal Frightfur Edge build, but I believe this had Dogmaticas at the time, and Folo playing essentially the same build from last time, but he switched out the Dynamist engine at this time for the Abyss Actors. That's what it was at this time. So getting into the game. There's one of the Abyss Actors right now. Gone to the wind. This is usually one of the more important ones because this is the only searcher for the payoffs. So Folo is definitely going to lean into the just set up skills side of Pendulum here, abusing the fact that's normally complained about within the Trinity community regarding they can do multiple special summons from the hand or extra deck. But here it didn't set up too much. See, we banished our main source of a board clear in the interest of setting up good skills, sort of good skills. This one's a good one if we can get it to pop. Notably, potential Hyper Director plays set up by getting the Wild up in the extra deck, and Codebreaker Vira guy, not too big of a fan, at least in Pendulum. We'll see how it turns out for Folo. Starting with the bear. Set that toy vendor directly from the deck. And we are going to roll. I guess there's no point in calling it a roll when we open the Edge chain and we mill an Edge card in the process. Alright, we'll see what the pickup is from the chain. Granted, it is unbound, so it's not like it wasn't too common to draw. It's always a patchwork. Grab a poly, grab the scythe. Alright. Now, this card's particularly good against Pendulum, much like anything that can pop a skill at spell speed 2. But it is a little bit worse going second because we've already established skills, and since Scythe only activates in the main phase, Folo will get turn play priority to pin summon before them. Let's see if we can break the skills first. Alright, it looks like we'll be using those two. We'll be digging a bit deeper. We're going to be looking to pop most likely Vendor and a Scale, I imagine. Ooh. And the Widow Anchor coming out. Man, it's a really good card. It's not sealing here, but it's basically just a regular negate. Let's see if Sonic's gonna chain here to do an additional mill with the whale. Does not look like that's the case. So we're just gonna get some draws with the penguin. Dump an Ashian, normal the Octo, add the chain rather than the scythe. Is this telegraphing a recycling plant, perhaps? It is not. So looks like we're just keeping the scythe in there for insurance. I probably would have added it back with the chain. I mean, added back the octopus, but it is his signature deck, so probably has a line here that secures it pretty well. The Raksha. So this is basically just upstart, except your opponent picks for you. Notably, it is level 4, so it can help with making excited and friends. We have two of functionally the same card here, and a Treacherous Trap Hole. And we're giving it to the opponent. Definitely some confidence in it. The Poor Will is at least was at least protected by the Scythe in the graveyard, being able to banish itself to defend from destruction, but you can't defend from mind control. Ooh. This was a recently unhit at the time monster, mainly because of this line here. It cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster. But it's definitely good in Pendulum just because of the link arrows. Right. Wild Hope. What is that? Just an attack booster, right? I mean, use it or lose it. It looks like this is just going to be a standard battle phase. Nope. Okay, that definitely explains the add back of the chain rather than the scythe a little bit. Still not opting to get rid of the scales though, which is... Oh. Well done. Sonic was definitely playing with all the cards on the table. It's a bit more susceptible to an opening with like a Twin Twisters Cosmic or even a pivot into a Tornado Dragon, but worked out for him in the end. Fusion Conscription. Right, this adds basically every edge imp. Just can't normally special. What's this? Sheep? Okay. Isn't a Saber's in the... Yeah, Saber's there. And we've already burned through a Widow Anchor. We know that he does have the Treacherous now. So this is probably insurance against the Treacherous. But I think going for the Tiger instead probably would have been better because it destroys the Treacherous, it destroys the Oath, and you'll for sure be able to clear these two out. Just looks like here that we're just preventing the float from Wild Hope and passing. Notably, we still do have the Scythe in hand, so we can set up a potential Saber's play. Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. And the Stargraph. And this was again one of the reasons why the early the early double Iris was a pretty big deal over keeping the initial. I mean, to be fair, he did add it back with the Oath, but yes, definitely the better call to play into the Pen Magicians here rather than the Abyss Actor engine. Picking up Aether. Alright, so we're just eliminating the existence of the Frightfur Sheep entirely here. The Pendulum 3. Alright, and this is going into the Sabertooth. So because this was 3 materials, it's going to be big protected. And it's most likely going to resummon the sheep, it looks like. Yeah. Alright, and Folo's just going to play for value here. Keeping up the tempo because obviously while it is good what Sonic was able to do, he didn't actually put up any disruptions. And so if Folo is still alive after this turn, he's able to for sure make a comeback just in terms of damage. The Frightfur Reborn definitely sets up some link plays, or I guess we're just greeting for the Crowell. Crowell does still have a battle trick that we can do in the damaged up. Most likely won't come up against the Raksha, so most of our damage will have to come in the form of the attack on Aether. Sending the Frightfur Jar. Now this card isn't played in too many decks, but it's particularly good with the Whale because it essentially just increases the damage output tremendously more than what it usually should be. It's gonna have their attack boost yours by half. It's okay. Not too much a fan, but it's an option. And did not have lethal that turn either. No. There might have been a way. There definitely might have been a way. It would have required a line with Tiger, but that would require polymerization that we didn't have access to. So in using the toy vendor to pitch the chain, add... No, that would require having a second copy of Patchwork. Right, best normal summon in the deck, adding a normal monster. Doesn't get better in Pendulum. Popping the Black Fang. Do we have a target in the graveyard? We do not. But we're just gonna go with a Giga Plus. Yeah. Wismite definitely the all-star in this game 1 here. Popping the pinpoint dash. Leaning more into the dogmatic engine more than anything. Possible Chimera Rafflesia as well. We were able to push for a lot of damage using the purple poison. It's entirely possible to have gone for that instead with the Dragon Pit, but it would have burned our search here, or with the Wisdom Eye. We still have to keep track of the site that's in the graveyard at this time. But this is all 3 summons for the turn. Banishing the one that's double protected. And we don't have a way of dealing with the sheep. Just because it'll come back and it'll come back stronger. Notably the strongest on the field. And even if we tried to beat it on the clapback, the Crowell is going to boost it up. So Gunnan Folo did not attack, but he probably shouldn't have committed to just going wide, even if it's just Pendulum. Maybe investing in a rank 4 of some kind. This does set up is definitely a Dissolver that he just revealed. At the time, the Gatling Ghoul was a card that was definitely a bit unknown for sealing games, but we'll see if it comes up here. Right, here's the Treacherous that we gave him. Bit of an illegal resolution there. Alright, and we're going to double protect with the Scythe as we anticipated. We're missing lethal. This is half the original. That's unfortunate. So Folo's best play there was just to summon in defense rather than summoning an attack, especially if he wasn't going to attack. One of the caveats of playing with the life points is they still matter at that point. So siding here, we definitely are more favored on the side of Sonic, because Pendulum has way too many blowout cards that are illegal at this time. As for Folo, because he's on 60 in this build, he's not going to be seeing too much of a siding. It looks like here we're going to be digging a bit for the... attempting to anyway. And now we have one of the worst scales in the deck. It is a 4 scale, and it is one of the monsters we would prefer to summon. Hyper Director gets us out of here, but that would require getting to an Abyss Actor first. Right, Spare Opener again, Pitch Vendor, reveal a Fluffal. This game's rigged. Right. Getting a Poly, getting the Dolphin. We're gonna reset the Vendor and go the Giga Stonks. Oh yeah. You always love to see the... You always love to see the wings, but not that sort of conclusion. Where we working at there? Ah. Yeah, I mean, he's playing consistency cards here. This is a scale, it's a high scale, but we do 2 high scales. No skill that we shouldn't be using. Consistency card and another consistency card, but with no targets. This is one of the issues with Pendulum, why you can't afford to run like hand traps or too many consistency cards, but even then, even if your ratios are still good, this is still semi-Highlander, and this sort of break can happen to you. The case of Sonic, he opened well with the Ogre, which is usually pretty strong against Skyris and a breaking Folo, but we had we had a pseudo FTK, and we had quite a bit of follow-up on our next turn, even after trying multiple cards. But yeah, this is notably Sonic's first place finish ever since joining, so congrats to him on that one. It was still a pretty good match, even though it's pretty much way too volatile for its only good.